bem, noite a todos. Bom dia, tudo bem? Today is quinta, today is Thursday, and this is my last day here in Maceió. Bom dia. These guys don't waste any time. Beautiful kiss. So my last day here in Maceió, I'm gonna grab some sunscreen and then hit an ATM later. I don't know. I don't think the situation in Barra Sao Miguel is going to be. I'm going to have as many options there for pharmacias and mercados and things. So I'm going to grab a few things before I leave just to make sure. I'm going to check out of here by noon, and then I can check in at 2 in Barra Sao Miguel. So I'll leave here about 12:30 or so, and that'll put me there right on time. So I'll spend the morning hanging out at the beach today until about noon or so, and then make my way south of here, which should just be about a 40-minute drive, and check out the other place, which should be really low-key, really relaxing. And we'll see how it compares. We'll see how Barra Sao Miguel compares to places like Jacumã and Pipa and those kind of out-of-town places that aren't urban beaches. They're more the rural beaches. I'd say no luck with the ATM. You're kind of up in the air. Sometimes Banco do Brasil likes my card, sometimes it doesn't. There's you just rolling the dice sometimes. There's some that consistently don't like it, some that do. It seems that there's different types of ATMs when you go in the bank. Anyway, whatever. Grab some on the way out. Jangadas are already leaving. Low tide was a little bit later, but it's also more dramatic. So there's the low tide's lower, the high tide's higher. So we should have actually a longer day to make some money. It looks like the umbrella dudes, I put my sandals in my backpack, are getting set up. And although we're still a ways away from this place packing with tourists quite yet. So we've got the morning here, and we'll go check out and head about, I think it's about 35 kilometers south of here to Barra de San Miguel. Mais tarde. Being low tide, there's a big long stretch of beach right here. Swimming at low tide isn't great because you run into a bit of seaweed if you go out too far. I mean, it's not a big deal, but if you don't like that on your feet, then okay. You can see the surf out there hitting those reefs where we were yesterday, but big wide stretch of beach. In the middle you've got like Praça Multiventos, you've got like general purpose squares and things like that, skateboard parks, and you got the hotels in the street. So they've got a big resource to use here all day, all night. I don't see an area where you could set up a giant stage like in João Pessoa. The beach isn't that big, but it's definitely got an edge over Natal, that's for sure. Alright, we're about where we were. Well, we were here yesterday morning coming back from the lighthouse, walking onto the reef. I don't remember this little stretch of exposed sandbar here on the way back. I just, maybe I wasn't paying attention. Or you know what, maybe I walked by the street. Anyway, it looks like people are walking way out there, so the plan was originally just go walk there and walk back, but I don't really want to miss this opportunity. This looks really cool out here. It's just real shallow, calm, still waters. Pajuçá, big giant tanker out there. So we're going to check this out and see how far we can go before the tide brings us back in. A bit breezy, but I'm kind of seeing why they call this area Alagoas, Maceió, the Caribe do Brasil, the Caribbean of Brazil. Just this water is so clear. Aguas claras. It's amazing how clear it is. It's all blue out there, a little bit of turquoise. But pictures really don't do it justice. It's just, it ranges from clear to turquoise to blue. It's really amazing. Alright, after exploring that cool little sandbar, we're going to head back to the beach area where I was the last couple days. See if Julian's ready sitting up. Yeah, Brazilians are on their own time frame, that's for sure. He said yesterday, oh, I'll be ready 7 o'clock. You know, walk by 8:15 and he's just getting set up. So that's pretty typical. I definitely don't hold it against him. I didn't hold him to 7 o'clock, that's for sure. No one else was out there. So we'll head back there for a few hours before we check out and grab lunch, probably get an Uber versus a taxi to Barra de San Miguel. But we'll hang out at the beach for a bit and see what's going on the last half day here. So it looks like these guys maybe have a private tour thing going. Maybe a natural pool tour later in the day, or a bus tour to the north or south of here, which is kind of the base of operations, and take the day, spend it. They do long ones. They do a trip to Sergipe, which is a state down in the south of us. Issue with that, and there's some cool stuff down there. Issue with that, San Francisco River canyons are really cool. Is you're 4 hours there, 4 hours back, and then 4 hours at the destination. So for me, when I'm only here 3 days, 8 hours in a vehicle is just too much. For other people, it's not a big deal, but for me, I just don't see a value spending 8 hours in a car. You know, even if you're leaving at 5:30, that's valuable daylight. But there's closer trips. There's trips that are 30 minutes away, an hour away, 2 hours away, and that's about the extent. We go to Puerto Gigalinas to the north is the furthest extent, and Sergipe, the border between Sergipe and Alagoas to the south. I don't know how popular they are, but they do almost. They must be making money at it. Okay, so this is your pretty typical setup. You can see in the front here chairs and umbrellas, and then in the back there you can see kind of the kitchen area more or less. It's located in the back because it's also adjacent to pedestrian traffic. So they're kind of shooting fish in two different barrels. The vendors here selling you tables and chairs and umbrellas are selling you food, and then the kitchen can also sell it directly as people are walking by on the street as well too. So strategically placed. You know, that was very similar to Japassoa as well. Natal, more or less, but they had to kind of share space with pedestrian traffic because they just didn't have the wide swaths of beaches like they do here. The tide really doesn't dictate much here. They don't have to wait for the tide to set up like in Natal. It's just not an issue. They got a nice wide section of beach. Although Natal didn't have all these jangadas, they had just a few bigger companies that would take you out. They didn't really have any national. Now we got it. They didn't have any small jangadas like this, just a couple big ones that would take you kind of around by some of the big dunes. But in Jampa, they had many of these little things that would take you out to the reefs, depending upon where the tide was that day. So these guys are in full swing. They want to catch anyone that they can and fill up their boats. Most of them seem to take between 4 and 8 people. Usually, the most common is like 6 people. I paid 30 reais, 30 reais, which is like maybe $7 for there and back. Hung out there for maybe an hour or so, and saw some fish and stuff. Definitely worth it. I mean, it was 2 hours, really cheap, unique entertainment, and really easy. You don't need to pre-book. You don't need to pay online, book ahead of time. You just come out here, find some dude in the boat, or he'll find you more than likely. Usually they find you first. Flag them down and enjoy. My boat did have 6 other people. They're all Brazilians. One of the couples was here, I think the 3rd time. They said that they were here, but I didn't catch where they were from. They all assume, of course, that I'm Argentinian, as I've probably been asked 10 times already. But you're surprised when I say Sudamericano. I'm not from Argentina. All right, it's about 11:45, and we're just about ready to head out of here. Check out for the day, leave Maceió. And head towards Barra do Sao Miguel. It's been a great time here. I've seen a lot of great sights, the reefs out there, the fish, the jangadas. They've run a really nice beach here. My beach chair buddy, Julian, was amazing. He was a great guy. This wind is pretty bad. He really made the day at the beach here worthwhile. He was fun to chat with. Overall, I really liked Maceió. I don't think it's a place I would probably consider moving to. I think Japassoa stands at the top of the list. But I had a great time, and off to another experience in Barra de Sao Miguel. We'll see how that is. The water here is amazing, and it should be somewhat similar down there as well. Uber should take about 40 minutes or so, and we're going to check out, catch an Uber, and check back in on the way or there. Okay, Maceió.